Hey everybody, this is Janet Wright. Let me know if this is working. Give me a little hello if you could. Oh, this is Bambi. Come to say hi to you guys. Oh, Loki, you good? Little cat anarchy for you. I'm going to say good morning to everybody. If you could say hi too, that would let me know this is working, which is always good. And oh, good. Thank you. Oh, that's true. Yes, thank you very much. If you don't want to be arrogant and assume you're gonna like it, if you don't even know me, but if you do know me and you know you're gonna like this, please give it an early thumbs up. That would actually help YouTube to show it to a lot more people, which is great. The world needs more healing. Oh, thank you. Hello, everybody. Guys are so cool. Um, so while more people could say hello if you want, but I'm gonna Bambi's messing with the camera. I'm gonna introduce you, let you know what you're in for. This is the second healing in a set of 3 group energy healings. Although you can just do this one by itself, it's a good standalone healing as well. The other healing was 2 days ago, and the third healing will be in 2 days on Tuesday. And the theme, it's a really cool theme. It's like 3 different things that all help each other. So letting go of emotional burdens from this and past lives is sort of maybe the big part of the theme. But the other 2 things are major as well, which is aligning to your higher self, which helps you to get your eternal wisdom that you've accrued from past lives, helps you to simplify a lot and cut out a lot of the drama in your life, or potential drama in your life. So that's the second part of the theme, align with higher self. And the third part of the theme is extra grounding. And grounding is just a game changer. And so I'm happy that it's such a big part of this theme and that we have 3 healings to sort of look at grounding maybe in a different way and just take it to a new level. So yay! And this healing, just like the one on Friday, is for 100 people in 10 different countries. It's for them, meaning I will be healing them, starting in a few minutes. As I'm doing this live stream, that's what I'm doing. I'm healing the 100 people in 10 countries that prepaid me before it sold out. But this healing is also for anyone who later watches as a video. It's for anyone who, just chooses to watch live and heal themselves as they watch. So it's for the world, really. Okay. I'm just getting myself situated, just a second more. Oh, and thank you for your survey results, you guys. Many of the participants filled out surveys, and that is always helpful for me. As I plan the upcoming techniques. So I thought of what we're doing today as I was looking at the survey results and as I was sort of reading people who had responded to their surveys and looking at what helped them the most and what do they need now. So it's a helpful process, and I appreciate the thoughtfulness that people have to take the 2-3 minutes to fill out the survey. That's great. Okay, so thanks for all my hellos. Appreciate it. People are watching from all over the world. A lot of US people. Oh, and time change. Yeah. Hopefully my European and clients in New Zealand and Spain and Australia and everywhere, they sort of understood that it's an hour earlier for them now because the US had a time change this morning. Okay. So I'm just gonna be quiet for a few moments as I make sure I'm at the right level of focus to do the best job I can. So in the meantime, just have a sip of your tea or center yourself a little, just maybe breathe deeply, or if you're doing other things right now, then just bear with me for a moment, and the healing will start in about a minute. Okay, thanks so much for your patience. So, Zen's on my lap now. I will gently show you. There you go. That's Zen. Okay, great. So I can also orient you to what this healing will contain. The new things it will, well, the things it will contain that the Friday healing did not, will be, we will work on the moonroof area in the back of the fifth layer of the aura. Fifth chakra is throat chakra, communications, and communications, partially intuition, inner voice, peace of mind, telepathy, nonverbal communication, hearing your angels. That's all fifth chakra, number 5 in the throat. And that chakra, the energy it generates goes into the fifth layer of your aura all around you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth layer, right? So the back, upper back of the fifth layer, there's a thing called the moonroof. And I will later link a moonroof video that's just about it in case you want more focus on it, the moonroof area. But I noticed a good chunk, maybe about 20% of the participants very much needed work on their moonroof area in the back of the aura. It's a space where if it's just right, you're just comforted. You receive a little bit of like energy from the cosmos and the moon, the stars, but just a very moderate amount. So it's like uplifting, as if you're looking up on a starry sky. But if it's all bashed in and unsafe, then you can get very overwhelming energy in through there, and that can lead to headaches and just feeling sort of out of whack and just out there. And so I did notice that needs to be a part of today's healing, so it will be. We will have moonroof healing as a part of today's work. We're going to do even more of the Wei Qi aura ring work that we did on Friday. We're going to kind of build upon that. On Friday, we did repair of these rings that are naturally occurring in your Wei Qi auras, which are strong energy boundary force fields that everyone has on a spirit level. And those rings, when they're repaired, they enhance the protective effects of your Wei Qi energy, and they also reinforce your natural instincts to heal yourself subconsciously in a very strong way. Like everybody actually naturally is self-healing. It's just that stress and imbalances can either partially or fully turn off that instinct consciously and subconsciously to repair and regenerate and self-heal. So anyway, so Wei Qi aura rings help with that. They help strengthen that internal drive to repair yourself and heal yourself. So we're going to take the ring work a fun step forward by, like, the rings, they can sort of you can, clairaudience is hearing energy, right? So you can actually like tap the rings and they ring like a bell. And if your Wei Qi auras are too heavy and blocked up, then they don't ring very well. But if your Wei Qi auras are more clear, more light, then they ring like similar to if anyone has done like sound healing with, like, you know, Tibetan singing bowls, you know, those big bowls, and they make this really nice meditative ringing sound. If your Wei Qi auras are light enough and clear enough, you can ring those Wei Qi aura rings, like, and it'll be like Tibetan sound healing kind of effect for yourself. And it also just is an indication, okay, yeah, I've lightened up my Wei Qi auras, I've cleaned them up enough, cleared them up enough that I'm getting my ringing effect, you know. And it's a very gentle ring that you'd have to hear on a clairaudience level. It's not like an annoying ringing in your ear type, you know, loud, distracting kind of ring. But anyway, so we're gonna do that, working on the Wei Qi aura rings, and believe me, that takes way longer to explain than it takes to do it, fortunately. So, and we're going to clear spiritual agreements that you're ready to clear with your genetic family in this lifetime about carrying their pain, carrying their emotional burdens. Agreements you may have, especially with parents and older siblings, because, you know, when you came into the family, when your spirit agreed to be a part of that family, they were already in the family. And so a lot of times those are the people that you have the agreements with. I mean, certainly the parents, but it can also be older siblings if you have them. So carrying sort of a copy of other people's pain, it is very common to do within a family. It just doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help them. It doesn't help you. It just weighs everybody down. So I think that needs to be a part of this triplet set, because we're talking about clearing emotional pain and burdens, and you can clear a lot of your personal stuff, but if you have that agreement still with your family to clear their pain, if you start to clear a lot of that pain but you don't clear the agreement, it's very easy for those people just on a subconscious spirit level to kind of reset what you're doing and stop that process. So I had a couple clients who were having trouble with that. They had not yet cleared on, you know, major levels this whole, you know, I'll carry your pain agreement that they made when coming in to their genetic family. And so now they're getting this triplet set and they're like lightening up, and then, you know, it's just like, wait, what's stopping this process? So that's, again, much quicker to do than it is to explain. So that is something important that we will be doing. It's just helping you to the extent that's healthy and gentle and you're ready for, to clear those pain carrying agreements that you made when you came in. And again, it doesn't necessarily, you know, harm the relationship in any way. It just means you don't get sort of flattened by their pain all the time, which is a big plus. And then also another area that we will be doing that I can just give you a heads up on is the top of the aura in the back. Because we did a lot of, on Friday, we did a lot of clearing above the head and above the top of the aura in order to free up, in order to allow you to better receive your 8th chakra, eternal healing energy. And here's my drawing for that I made on Friday. So we cleared in this area and we cleared this area right here. So that here's your 8th chakra, which is a chakra of yours that does not come into the physical body. And that's okay, that's good. And it just stays up there and it shines down eternal wisdom and healing energy. So, you know, that is, you could refer to your 8th chakra as your higher self, and I don't think that would be inaccurate. There may be extra aspects to your higher self, but, you know, whatever. We could split hairs all day. So anyway, so we did a lot of this clearing, but we did a lot of clearing like directly above the head, but also in the back of the aura above that is interesting and useful to clear as well. And so I noticed, just because we were doing so much explicit clearing directly above the head so that the 8th chakra energy could make it down to the 7th chakra properly, we accidentally omitted good clearing that we could have done in the upper back, just above the top of the aura back there. And that helps you be more present in the back of your aura, which helps the back of your chakras to be safer. And it's key as well. So I think that is definitely one thing that we'll do in this session. So anyway, those 4 things, the moonroof area work, the ring, the Wei Qi aura rings, we're gonna make them ring literally on a telepathic level by lightening up the vibration of your Wei Qi auras, which will make them work better for strong boundaries. And then we're going to help you clear spiritual agreements about pain carrying that you have with your family and your siblings, which just helps you lighten up. It doesn't necessarily change your relationship with them on other levels if you don't want it to change. And then we'll also be unblocking the top back, in addition to a little bit more up here. I did find that on Friday that was very useful for people. And I did want also to mention, I'll link it again underneath. By the end of today, I'll put it underneath. But there is a 21-minute video about non-resistance. And 8th chakra. That's a walkthrough from April of 2018, so almost 2 years ago. That does a little bit of what we did yesterday. I mean, it doesn't have all the other stuff. I mean, yes, Friday, but it has that part of freeing up, unblocking between your 8th chakra and the top of your head and your 7th chakra. So it does work non-resistance, and it works unblocking this whole area, and that's a 21-minute walkthrough. So if you particularly liked that part of what we did on Friday, you know, it's already a 21-minute video that already exists. And I did link it, like I realized that video existed last night, so then last night I linked it as one of the, you know, suggested videos on the, so it's already below the Friday live stream. It just has, if you're looking for it later, it just has non-resistance in the title. And I think there's even a little drawing of something like this in the image for the video. Okay, all right, enough talking. But at least now you know what we're about to do. So the healing is starting roughly 21 minutes into it. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to start with aura and grounding work. And I'll explain in a minute. I just want to start the healing first. It's interesting. What I notice is there's sort of a kind of like a background noise, like a chatter in people's space telepathically, and that's that need for repairing the moonroof area in the back of the fifth layer that I talked about, because fifth layer is inner voice, telepathy, nonverbal communication, and so when that needs repair, it just affects you letting in telepathy that you don't need to let in. So people are letting in too much just random chatter, from other people into their fifth layers, and that's what I'm detecting by just combing through, that people need that. So it's just interesting. So just a heads up, if you notice that you have a lot of inner chatter that just doesn't add up to anything constructive, it's not like your inner voice or your inner wisdom or an angel or something, then maybe you need to work the moonroof area. Okay, so as you heal yourself, you can use a copy out in front of you, which is what I like to do. You don't have to heal yourself this way, but I feel like it's very powerful to be able to do it this way and to practice. By practicing, you get better and better. So you can make a copy out in front of you of your aura, right? Big bubble all around you, and a copy of your grounding. I would suggest, why don't everybody just recreate your grounding, make it nice and wide as your whole aura, all the way around you. And so the grounding is that wide. It's as wide as your whole aura, and it goes all the way down to the core of the earth, so it stays wide all the way down to the core of the earth. You could make it red or orange or yellow. I think any of those colors is fine. So I'm going to do a little bit of aura repair to start with. Everybody got the Friday healing, so some people don't need aura repair, but if you're using this later as a video, you very well may need aura repair, so many reasons to start with it. So aura repair, you just imagine your aura and the rips in your aura that can occur when people throw energy. And so you just wash out the rips with gold light. And on Friday, I talked a lot about Friday meaning March 6th, 2020. I'll link that below too, the Friday video, just because that one does complement this one nicely. So if you did want to do that one as well, you'll find the link. But anyway, I talked about being aware of the quantity of gold light that you're creating with your hand chakras and your fingertip chakras, and acknowledging that you can adjust it. You can really expand the amount of energy you're using and generating just by unblocking your hand chakras. So again, I'm going to help all the 100 participants, the prepaid participants, to unblock their hand chakras. And their fingertip chakras, which are in the tip of each finger. So I like to just, if you can't see, you can still imagine, right? So you could draw like a circle. Like you could draw a circle and say, okay, this is my hand chakra. It's a giant version of it, right? But your hand chakra is like this big. So this is my hand chakra, and maybe it's that much blocked, right? So then I'm going to melt away the blocks. Sometimes, of course, the blocks wrap all the way around, but it doesn't matter. You just imagine what's blocked and then melt away the blocks, and that's how it's better able to generate more energy, right? So you just imagine a copy out in front of you, or you can directly do it to your hand. Just unblock your hand chakras. The angels are showing me one of my newbie clients, and she has guilt stuck in her hand chakras. So, and that is from times when she felt like she gave the wrong thing, or she didn't give enough, she didn't do enough. You know, on a spirit level, you're associating your hands with giving. So you can melt away any guilt that you might have stuck in your hand chakras. Another sample client that angels are showing me, he has fear stuck in his hand chakras. He's afraid of doing the wrong thing, afraid of causing harm to others. So he has fear in his hand chakras, which, you know, isn't helping him to do the right thing. You know, it's just not helpful at all. So go ahead, wash out anything that's not just, you know, happy you in your hand chakras. Just wash everything else out of your hand chakras. Use gold light and just melt away, you know, any baggage, any fear, other people's energy. Another sample client has somebody else's anger stuck in their hand chakras because she at one point was trying to help and give to somebody who didn't want their help, who didn't want her help. And so she kept trying and trying, and the person was like, stop, you know, and so she has anger from that person, and it's, you know, from 10 years ago. So that's another thing you might need to melt out of your hand chakras. And the fingertip chakras, I'm just going to do those really quickly because I think we got to keep going. But same thing, you could have the same thing stuck in there. You just use cold light. You don't have to think of, okay, clear out anger, clear out guilt, clear out whatever. But sometimes that helps, you know, to just think of what it could be. Okie doke. Yay. All right. I think cleaning out your hands is very empowering, you know, because it feels like, okay, now I can take action. Now I can give to myself. I can create in the world, you know. Hands have a lot to do with action. So I feel like working on the hand chakras and the fingertip chakras has kind of, people seem to be uplifted by that. So let's work on the back of the space, because I said we were going to unblock up here above the top of the back of the aura, and also we may as well do the whole back of the aura at the same time, and the back of the grounding. So just imagining, like, say if you can put your hand out, and then that's the top of your aura, and then this is the back of that, just above the back. So it's like all the way back here. Or for her, you know, this is the top of her aura, so it's back here. You can just have energy stacked up, and that makes you less present in the back of your aura. And you really want flow and presence here so that all these important chakras release properly, and so that the flow protects the aura. The flow makes the aura harder to damage, makes it stronger the more flowing it is. So anyway, if that whole concept is new to you, what the back of the aura, why that's important, I will link back of the aura. There's a video, back of the aura, heal the back of your aura, where I go on and on about it. I mean, it's a good video, but if that's a sort of a new realization to like pay attention in the back, then you might like that. So you can imagine this upper back part, right, above the top of your aura, and just imagine the energy blocks. If you need like to know what they sometimes look like, then maybe just piles of garbage or stacks of books. And just use gold light and melt them. So if you tend to have neck tension, back tension, headaches, you know, this could be nice for that. A lot of times people shove in the back of their aura what they're avoiding. And the funny thing is, on an energy level, if you just melt it, then you don't have to avoid it anymore. So it's like you can sort of shortcut through all the drama of avoiding what you need to clear, and it's still weighing you down, and you're still avoiding it, and it's still weighing you down, and you're still avoiding it. If you just clear it, it's just so much better. So with that in mind, you know, you can run gold light through the whole back of your aura and this upper part above there, and just especially melt away anything that you're avoiding, anything that your spirit is kind of wanting to just look beyond and pretend it's not there. Just melt all that away. Save yourself the whole avoidance, weighing down, avoidance being weighed down, avoidance being weighed down cycle. Just melt it all. Sometimes you can think of, you know, gold water, gold fire, whatever is more effective for you at the time. Again, what are we doing? We're combing through the back of the aura, and above the back of the aura, and even back of the grounding. And if you're only combing through one of those areas and you feel like it's not quite working, do all three. Like right now, I'm noticing that, you know, the back of the grounding, if I help people lighten that up more, the back of the grounding, like down, you know, between the back of their aura and the center of the earth there, if I lighten that up, help people to clear there. And deep breath. On Friday, we talked a lot about sort of like strategy as a self-healer and strategy as a healer, and how inner stillness, not trying, and being non-resistant makes it all work better, a lot better. So as you melt energy blocks out of the back of your aura, just relax, try to relax. Think about letting go. I can let go. It's okay to let go. A lot of times people shove things in the back of their aura thinking, well, I haven't finished that project yet. I haven't solved that problem yet. And they don't realize that what they're holding on to is what's preventing them from solving the problem. So like I have one client, and he's a telepathic consent participant. He's somebody's husband who gets the healings, but he consciously would not think a healing is necessary, but his spirit very much likes these healings and does very well with them. And but anyway, in the back of his grounding are these issues which he just hasn't resolved in his head, and he has baggage about these issues, and he's like, well, but I haven't solved those problems, so I can't release this energy. But it's like this catch-22. If you don't release your baggage about a problem, you're not going to solve the problem. So maybe just remind yourself, you know, if you're stuck in sort of this analytical frozen brain thing, just say, okay, well, in order to solve my problems, I need to release the baggage. In order to find solutions, I need to lighten up. You know, because I had a client just in one of her surveys, the Friday survey. She's like, well, how do I create positive change? I have so many problems and I don't know what to do. And I need to know, I need clarity about how to solve all this and how to do it all. And it's like, well, it might be hard for people to hear when they're in that headspace, but you have to let go of the problem in order to solve it. You have to let go of the pain of it, let go of the panic, let go of the baggage. So you just imagine like rocks that are related to that problem that are in the back of your aura, the back of your grounding, above the back of your grounding, above the back of your aura, and just melt the rocks that relate to that problem. Melt the baggage that relates to your problems. And that's what you do. Because when somebody is stuck, the natural instinct is to either just completely repress it and be in total denial, which is not helpful, or to run it around and around your mind and restate again and again to yourself and others what your issues are and what the problem really is, and blah, 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 this broken record effect. And that doesn't help. It just means you're stuck. That's all it means. It's not fixing it. So you need to find the baggage and melt it. Just imagine it and melt it. And a lot of it's going to be in the back. I mean, yes, if you get triggered, key parts are in the front, but the back, I would say, is sort of a warehouse of what you're stuck on a lot of times. Because you're like, whoa, that's not there. That's really not there. That's not happening. It's everyone else's problem. It's not my problem. So your denial warehouse is in the back. Your it's not me warehouse is right here in the back. So what are we doing? We're melting energy blocks that are in the back of the aura. And so just again, to remind us all of the theme of letting go of emotional burdens. So as you're doing all this, just a heads up to any emotional burdens that you've packed away back here that you're thinking, it's better to pack it away than to deal with it. Just melting it is not really dealing with it. It's better than that. It's like, it just feels like this, it's easier. So just imagine it maybe like clothing that's packed away, or books that are packed away back here in the back of the aura. Just melt them. So again, it's emotional baggage that you're sort of avoiding. It's back here in the back of the aura, and just melt it away. All right. It's cute. Some of the participants, I can tell like their shoulders are lighter because we did that, because it's like, it just bears down on you to avoid heavy stuff. Because it weighs you down. It doesn't, avoidance isn't really as perfect as you might think it is, or you might want it to be. You can't actually avoid something that's right back there in your aura. All right, so now moonroof area. Let's just do that. It's this little cool, it's about like this, the dimensions are about like that, back there in your fifth layer. And it's just this nice little blue area in the back of your fifth layer. Fifth chakra, the ideal color I would say is a light blue. Why do I say that? You know, why do I say, like on Friday I said orange is an ideal color for the second chakra, but I didn't really explain. It just means like if you use the rainbow system where you set your first chakra to be your favorite shade of red, which you can go ahead and do. Your second chakra, which is emotions, make it your favorite shade of orange. Your third chakra at your solar plexus where your ribs meet, make that your favorite shade of yellow. Make it, meaning you just set it as a vibration to that color. Fourth chakra, heart chakra, you make it your favorite shade of green. And then fifth chakra, you make it your favorite shade of light blue. And then sixth chakra, third eye, you can make it your favorite shade of a deeper blue, like maybe cobalt or some kind of medium blue, royal blue maybe. And then your seventh chakra in the top of your head, you can make it your favorite shade of purple. And so what that does is it just, I feel like it's convenient. I mean, the lower chakras, they work better at the slower moving vibrations, so red, orange, yellow, and the upper ones seem to be optimally functioning at those higher vibrations of, you know, the blues and the purples and green. So I think it's a very practical system, because then when you're looking at your aura and you're working your fifth layer, you know, if you have them at standard colors all the time, then you know, okay, I'm working the back of my fifth layer. I should see light blue here because I set my fifth chakra to light blue. So if something is black or something is yellow all of a sudden in my fifth layer, I know, whoa, something's off. What's going on there? Oh, that yellow, that's my sister. My sister is trying to, you know, sit on my shoulder and be a bird talking to me all day. And I don't really want that. So I'm going to wash out my sister, this big blob of yellow that's stuck in my fifth layer. That's not right. You see, so if you have the standard colors, it's a practical thing of understanding your energy and optimizing it. So anyway, so you have this little blue, like a moonroof, like a little window, but you keep it sealed so that only a very moderate amount of energy from the stars and the moon can come through. And no beings, no invasive beings. So that's very important. So when it's nice and small like that, and moderate as opposed to like just broken open and big, then the beings, invasive beings can't come through it. And so that's nice. So then you have this little uplifting inflow of a little bit of star energy, but no invasive beings at all can come through it. It's just for you to receive a little bit of uplifting energy. So how do you clear beings out of this area? Well, that moonroof video does a little more detail, but first what I'm doing is I'm just using a ton of gold light. And then you can use like gold combs is what I did in that moonroof video, where you just you kind of tangle up the beings that are stuck going through that moonroof window, and you just tangle them up in these gold combs. You know, you just stick them with all the gold combs, so then you have this mass of whatever was trying to get through, and you just hand all that to your angels. Here you go, angels, please recycle this. And you can do that on both sides of the window, the moonroof area, and just, you know, stick your gold combs here and just stick whatever it was, just have it, you know, kind of hold on to it, you know, with all the gold combs, and just freeze it, and then just take that, give it to your angels. So that's one way to make sure that nothing's coming through that moonroof area, is to use gold combs. Another way could be vacuum boxes. So I don't think vacuum boxes alone, they might not be enough. But since we already did gold combs, we could also do vacuum boxes. So here's the moonroof area, you know, copy out in front of you, because in reality it's back here, right behind this area, just back, like in your 5th layer. But anyway, so we can just imagine that moonroof area and just make a vacuum box on either side, and then turn them on, and the vacuum boxes can suck out of that area anything that shouldn't be there into the vacuum boxes. And then when those vacuum boxes are full, just say, angels, can you please recycle these vacuum boxes? So that did help too. I could feel that. So combs plus vacuum boxes. How about that? You can also just have energy blocks piled up on either side of that moonroof area. So like if here's your moonroof, like piled up in front and behind it, you can have energy blocks. So we could just melt those. And probably those energy blocks are there because at one point you were resisting that your moonroof area was busted and things were coming through, and your resistance was there. So you were like, I don't like what's coming through. And your resistance, you know, caused a clumping of energy blocks there. So we're just going to be non-resistant. It's okay. Deep breath. Right. So if you comb through this area from the back of the 5th chakra out to the 5th layer, you shouldn't get a feeling like things are coming through or hard objects are stuck there or anything. You should be able to just comb through that, and it should be, you know, just 1st layer, 2nd layer, 3rd layer, 4th layer, 5th layer. You know, just so go ahead and comb through behind your neck, your 5th chakra, and just comb through that space. Just make sure it's nice and safe, and it's just you. And we can do what I do when I'm pausing is I'm just taking notes, because later I put a summary of what we did in the information section when it's saved as a video. I put a text summary of what we did. So let's do sticky gold wax on all the chakras. I think that's fun, and I think it's good because I want us to further unblock the 5th chakra. Now that, you know, that moonroof area is nice and healed, it's a new opportunity to further heal and unblock your 5th chakra, because you don't have that pressure bearing down on it from energy coming in. So now you can unblock it even more and relax it even more. And same with your 6th and your 4th. So let's just use sticky gold wax on all the chakras. It's a nice way to unblock them. And as a separate video, which I'll link by the end of today, is it's just nice. It's a little 5 or 7 minute video, something like that. So you just imagine, you can imagine it literally, like without the copy out in front of you if you want. I do like the copy though, but you know, whatever, if the literal works better for you. But essentially you're creating with your intention, you're just creating this gold healing energy wax, like candle wax, W-A-X, and you're just putting it around the openings, over the openings of all the chakras. And you know, be sure to get the 7th chakra, the bottom of the 7th chakra, which is in there, you know, get wax on that too. And so gold wax on all the openings of all your chakras, all your major chakras, 7 astral body chakras, 7 physical body chakras, and why not unblock your kundalini chakra, which is right beneath your first chakra in the physical body. So we're gonna sticky gold wax for 15 different chakras, 7 astral, 7 physical, and then that extra physical kundalini chakra. Right, and make sure you get the gold wax also on the underside of your 7th chakra, which is in there in the top of your head. And then go ahead and take off the gold wax. Just, you know, I like to do it in like 2 pieces. So take off 1 piece of it, give it to your angels, take off the other piece of it, give it to your angels. The idea is that that wax adheres to whatever you need to release right now, whatever's healthy and gentle for you to release. So energy blocks and cords from other people, maybe even some beings that are clogged up in there. The wax can stick to that, stick to all that, and you just give it to your angels. You know, by taking off the wax, you get rid of that stuff that is healthy and gentle for you to clear. So let's do it one more time. Sticky gold wax over all your chakra openings, 7 physical, 7 astral, and then the kundalini chakra too. And then just take off the gold wax, give it to your angels, give it to your angels, and make sure you take it off of both the top and bottom of your 7th chakra. Get that one cleaned out too. That's nice. Okay, so so we did moon area. Yay. We've also done a lot of the back of the aura stuff, which is nice. We did the back top part that I said we were going to do. So let's clear the agreements, the pain carrying agreements. Like, okay, I will carry, you know, I'll carry the family burdens with me. And the thing is that it all is an unwise idea. Because just like, you know, that sample client that I read where he was carrying the baggage of problems that he hadn't yet solved, carrying the baggage of those problems blocks you from solving the problems. So it's just this human confusion that you get, that you think, okay, if I haven't solved this, then I need to carry the pain of it. No. So so you can just imagine any agreements that are healthy and gentle for you to clear right now, that you on a spirit level subconsciously, even before your life started usually, but also in childhood, it happens. Usually, I mean, in adulthood, you may have made some with like an ex-husband or an ex-boyfriend or a spouse. You may have made pain carrying agreements with them too. So we can clear all that. So just, you can make a pile out in front of you of any pain carrying agreements, say with genetic family or sibling, you know, or partners. Any pain carrying agreements that you have with other people that are healthy and gentle for you to clear right now. So specifically emotional pain carrying agreements, but you know, all pain carrying agreements, like maybe carrying somebody's guilt or carrying somebody's fear that's not yours. Go ahead and put all that out in front of you. And the agreements can look like just big piles of stuff. They can look like pieces of paper. An agreement could look like a piece of paper, could look like a rock. It does not matter visually how you imagine it or see it. The melting part is what counts, the making it go away part. Okay, so you just imagine a big pile out in front of you of any pain carrying agreements, emotional burden carrying agreements that are healthy and gentle to clear right now. And go ahead and melt them. Use lots and lots of gold light. So it could look like a big pile of garbage if you want, or a bunch of pieces of paper, rocks, doesn't matter. You're melting away pain carrying agreements. And go ahead and wiggle your toes. Some people are getting a little bit spacey. So just let the gold light do the work. Breathe, wiggle your toes, and just let go of the pain carrying agreements. Melt them away with gold light, gold fire, gold water. And if you're having trouble melting them, like say maybe most of them melted, but there's one or two left, just say, angels, can you please help me clear these agreements? So a lot of, there's so many different ways to perceive the world. For example, someone can be living in a country and they feel like that country is full of terrible people. Somebody else can be living in that same country and be more in tune with the inspiring and courageous aspects of the people that are living there. And so it's the same country, the same people, but there are different vibrational levels that you can exist in, and you can experience different levels of that society. So a lot of times these pain carrying agreements affect if you are going to be just, blown away by the horrible darkness in a country, or you're going to be able to maybe still be aware of that, but be nourished by the positive aspects of the country that you live in, for example. So again, let's do just a little bit more of that. Well, however much you want to do, however much is healthy and gentle for you to do right now. But go ahead, we're going to just put out in front of you. If you want, you can make a blanket for it if that helps your brain a little. But either way, just make a pile out in front of you of any pain-carrying agreements that are healthy and gentle for you to clear right now. And maybe you do have pain-carrying agreements with your fellow people in the country you live in. You can put those on the blanket too. Like for example, yeah. For example, I mean, I'm in a very privileged group of people because I'm white and I'm not a religion that gets persecuted or anything. So I'm a woman, so, but I've cleared a lot of the sort of group pain of persecuted women on the planet. It doesn't mean that I can't help them. It actually means I'm better at helping. I tend to be more effective at helping persecuted women. Why? Because I have more energy and more strength to help them, because I cleared that a while ago. So if you are in a persecuted subgroup, like for example African Americans or people of color anywhere in the planet, Native Americans, any people of color that are persecuted, or a religion that is persecuted, you very likely have pain carrying agreements with that group. Maybe you've cleared them, but maybe not. And so you can clear those pain carrying agreements with, like I said, fellow countrymen, or a subgroup that you're in, say women, or women of color, or Jewish women, or whatever. You can clear the pain carrying agreements, and it just strengthens you to help that group more capably. And you can have your angels double check your pile too. So you can go ahead and put your pain carrying agreements from whatever persecuted subgroups on the blanket, and then say, angels, please double check my piles. So therefore your angels, it's a safeguard. So if you put some pain on there that you're not supposed to get rid of, your angels will take it off. But the angels are like shaking their head like that wouldn't be possible. They wouldn't. There's no such thing as giving up pain that you shouldn't have given up. I mean, it's always good to give it up. So anyway, just go ahead, dump any burdens from any persecuted class that you may have in your space. Any pain carrying agreements, dump those onto the blanket and just melt them. Oh, say, angels, please double check my pile. This is a safeguard. And then go ahead and melt that pile. Like I have a client, and she has a lot of pain burdens from her mother, who is now in heaven. But but her mother was persecuted, and she carried a lot of her mother's pain. So now she's like doubly persecuted because she has all her pain carrying from different things, and then she has her mother's, burdens from her mother still within her, even though her mother's fine now. And so she's experiencing a lot of very real persecution. But if you clear this, it strengthens you and it sort of takes you out of the pattern a lot more effectively. Takes you out of that persecution pattern. So then if you want, you could still fight for justice for whatever group that you want to help, but you're stronger to do so. You're more able to do so. So again, all we're doing is we're melting pain agreements that are healthy and gentle to clear right now. They could be pain agreements from family members, ex-husbands, ex-wives, ex-boyfriends, from social groups, from religious groups. Melt the pain agreements. You could be a part of a political movement that has a lot of victimization in it. And if you have that within you too much, then it harms your ability to manifest something better for that political group. So again, just melt pain agreements that you're ready to melt. So everyone did great with that. So what we're going to do now, and I'll link this below later as a video, is second and first layers of the aura. We're going to expand those extra. Well, we're going to just run gold light through them so that if they need to expand, they will. Even some of my veterans right now could use a little bit of that. And that is a video, Get Present in Second and First Chakras. Even though that video title says second and first chakras, it does a lot of work in the aura layers, first and second aura layer, because that's really one of the best ways to help that chakra is to heal and unblock that aura layer. So second and first chakras are relating to the second and first aura layers all around your body, even below your feet, right? So that's what we're going to do now. Second and first aura layer, going to unblock them. Just run gold light through those two aura layers that are closest to your body, especially above the head and below the feet. So, right, first layer and second layer right above the head, first layer, second layer right below the feet. I'm going to unblock those. And again, think about the quantity of gold light you're using and also how much you're relaxing, how much you're just non-resistant, you're just breathing, you're not trying too hard, just letting the gold light do the work, thinking about I can let go, it's okay, I can let go. And so a lot of people, their second layer is opening up nicely, but the first layer is still a little stubborn, which makes sense that, the outer layers are going to be better first. So just a little extra on that first layer of the aura, closest to the skin. And the more unblocked this is, the more courage and safety and abundance you have. And again, abundance is not just dollars in the bank. Abundance has to do with being able to meet your own needs on material levels and on other levels. But for example, you know, if I get $100, you know, that could be abundance. If I get $100 and then, you know, my house burned down and now I have nowhere to live and all I have is $100, that's not abundance, right? So it's not just dollars. It's, you know, it's this energy of being able to meet your own needs, being able to survive, being able to more than survive, right? So the more you just clear out your first layer, that does help you to more than survive. It helps you to have what you need when you need it. And it helps you to not have fear. Like it's always amazing to me. I have clients that earn a lot of money, or maybe they have inheritance and they have money. And then I have clients that literally have like nothing, you know, like very much paycheck to paycheck. You know, no property ownership, no ownership of you know, assets. And you can be riddled with fear and have, you know, money, or you can be riddled with fear and have no money, but it's not so directly connected as people imagine. You know, you can be really neurotic and fear-based and have some serious money. So again, abundance is different than that. Abundance is this courage, safety, energy that helps you to not freak out. It's like an absence of fear and worry, so that you can just be calm and acknowledge what you have and function. So what are we doing? We are running gold light through the first layer of the aura, which is the one closest to your skin, right? So it's like kind of like you can imagine you want to be bathing your skin in your own safety and courage energy, your own abundance energy, you know, and what color would that be? I think ideally it would be a red color, right? So you set your first chakra at your red color, and then you just sort of intuitively scan your own first layer, and you want it to be red everywhere. And so if it's not red everywhere, like say if it's black, you know, up against your back and your shoulders, well, those are energy blocks most likely. So just melt away the part that's not red. You know, melt away the hard chunks of black that you notice in your first layer. And if something's a little stubborn, you know, you can say, angels, can you help me remove that? And I am specifically right now working the back of the shoulders and the back of the head, because it is true. People tend to have just more compression back there in the first layer, and also just heavy energy blocks back there. And this is one of those areas where there are energy blocks that have been there so long that people don't even realize they can clear them. You know, it's funny. Funny, interesting. Not funny comedy. Ha 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 ha. So again, you can make a copy out in front of you because it's kind of awkward to reach back there maybe. And just your first layer right behind your shoulders and your head and your neck. And just imagine the energy blocks there and melt them away with gold light. And above the head, first layer above the head. Ooh, felt like the whole thing just opened up more now. It's like, and just a quick comb through of the area that we worked a lot on Friday, just above your head, all the way from the top of your head all the way up to your 8th chakra. Just comb through that whole area, melt away energy blocks. Any energy blocks that are blocking your 8th chakra energy from coming down, that wisdom and healing energy that comes down from the 8th chakra, you want to melt away anything that's in the way of that. So I'm imagining kind of like a big stack of books that goes all the way up there, and you just melt the stack of books. Chances are, if you feel that your problems are insurmountable, you have a lot of energy blocks up here. Because energy blocks above the head and above the top of the aura, they just make everything seem truly dramatic and epic, but not in a fun, not like fun epic, but like tragic epic. That's from energy blocks up here. So I think nourishing is a good thing to do right now, because we cleared those agreements, and I think that it's a good time to nourish and self-comfort in a healthy way, because pain agreements, you know that idea, misery loves company, right? So on some levels, being in pain in a way that other people are in pain, sharing their pain, feeling their pain, provides comfort. I mean, it's totally unhealthy, and you're less able to help that group if you do share their pain in that literal way. But there's some sort of imbalanced way that it provides comfort. So now we cleared those pain agreements because we don't want to be in that unhealthy pattern where you're just oppressing yourself because other people are oppressed, right? But now we need to provide the comfort in a healthy way, right? Because if you're not comforting yourself in a healthy way, you may gravitate towards these unhealthy comforts, like burdening yourself because other people are burdened, right? Or maybe addictive substances, or overeating. Those are all examples of unhealthy ways of comforting yourself, right? It provides some comfort in a way, in a really imbalanced way. So the more you comfort yourself in healthy ways, the less you feel a need or a craving for the unhealthy comforts. Okay, so flower healing is always a nice way to nourish and comfort, right? So so let's just do like a nice little compilation. We'll first do the general flowers that we did for the theme. We did it on Friday too. So our three-way theme of letting go of emotional burdens, aligning with higher self, and extra grounding. Go ahead and make a lot of energy healing flowers for that. So what you do is just the inner wise part of you creates a whole bunch of energy healing flowers out in front of you, out of universal healing energy, and it can be gold and also to rainbow colors, but you don't have to micromanage that. Just let yourself create that. So flowers that are the healing energy that you need to let go of emotional burdens, to align more with your higher self, and for extra grounding, right? And then go ahead and multiply that by 100, so you have even more of those, right? Those energy healing flowers. And then angels, can you please double check my flowers? You ask your angels to double check your flowers, make sure they're just the right vibration for you. And then give those flowers to yourself, and they'll just go wherever they need to go. You don't have to think about it. So let's do that again. Energy healing flowers to help you let go of emotional burdens, align more with your higher self, and have extra grounding. Make those out in front of you and multiply it by 10 or 100, whatever, or double them, however much, make more. And then say, angels, can you double check these flowers? And go ahead and give it to yourself. And now, as a finishing thing, we're going to do not a trivial thing. We're going to do that Wei Qi aura ring thing that I talked about, the Wei Qi aura ring thing. So I'll type it out just in case you're new and you don't know. So Wei Qi is defensive energy, and that is a traditional Chinese medicine term. TCM is abbreviation for traditional Chinese medicine term. So Wei Qi, I didn't make up that, right? But then Wei Qi auras, the angels explained that to me, Wei Qi auras, that there are 15 different Wei Qi auras that we have, and they're force fields that you as a spirit have, and it's they're components of that Wei Qi energy that you have, that defensive energy. And you have 15 Wei Qi auras. And then you have, each of those auras has 4 rings in it. So at front, back, top, and bottom, right? And so we worked a lot on those on Friday. So right now, just real quickly, we're going to repair them if any need repairing. And you just surround that area in gold light. So at the top of your Wei Qi auras, you have 15 rings, 1 for each of the Wei Qi auras. And so you just surround that area in so much gold light that if any need repair, that the gold light will do it. And if you've never repaired your Wei Qi aura rings, you probably do have, maybe even most of them need repair. Depends on how healthy you feel. If you feel like, because there are subconscious ways of healing these. So if you feel pretty put together, maybe, but you've never healed and repaired these, maybe half of them need repair. But if you feel like you're overwhelmed all the time, then, and you've never repaired these, then they probably all need repair. But it doesn't matter. You just use gold light. And then the bottom. So at the bottom of all your Wei Qi auras, repair those rings. So there are 15 rings, right? Because there's 1 at the bottom of each of these Wei Qi auras. So just lots of gold light. And I'm just making a copy out in front of me, right? Of that area down there. This is why I use copies, because some things are harder to reach with your hands, right? That's one reason to use copies. The other reason is you can see more detail. You can expand the copy. So you're much more likely to be accurate and do as detailed work as you need. So anyway, we're healing and repairing the Wei Qi aura rings at the bottom of the Wei Qi auras. And essentially you repair them, and then you keep using gold light so that even the little cracks that may still be there, those heal up too. So there's no more cracks. So each one is just like a gold ring that's oriented this way, like that way. Okay, and then front and back. So the Wei Qi aura rings in the front, they're at the level of the 3rd chakra. So out here in front, and they're the dimensions of pretty much of your wrist, but they're round. So as wide as your wrist, that's how wide these rings are. So I'm just laughing because one of my participants was like, well, if my wrist is wider than yours, does that mean my Wei Qi aura rings are wider? Don't worry about it. So you're just using gold light to repair the Wei Qi aura rings in the front. And this part we've done before, but after that we're going to do the new part. So we're just doing basic repair right now. Gold light so that the Wei Qi aura rings in the front, the 15 rings in the front of your Wei Qi auras get repaired, and all the little cracks get healed up too. And then same thing in the back. All the back, the Wei Qi aura rings that are in the back, the level of the 3rd chakra back here, and the back of each of your Wei Qi auras, you have a ring. So there are 15 back there, and some of them might be broken up. And so you just use gold light and you heal them. The gold light puts them together automatically without you having to think about it. Mm. And then just melt away the cracks. All right. So now for the fun part. Well, that was fun too, but that's not fun new. Fun new is like a special fun, I think. um, so we've already said in previous healings, like, okay, you can heal these sort of together. These, once they're all repaired, you sort of heal them at the same time, and they kind of energetically work together then. So it's like this inner crystal grid, in a way that it just creates a force field, you know, because the ones in the front and the back and the top and the bottom, they all kind of vibe together. So it's very strengthening, and nice. And if you're a newbie, you won't feel like, oh, that's so nice, you know, but I guess you just have to have faith that it helps, because it does. The reason you can't feel it is because you're just not present enough yet to feel the difference. But the Wei Qi aura rings, yeah, that's not something that's going to hit you in the face. I mean, you have to be able to feel subtle differences to feel the difference, but it still is extremely protective, whether or not you feel it physically or not. Just so you know. So anyway, so we got them vibing together, but they're not like, if we ring them, if we just sort of tap them like a bell, like ding, 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 it's not, they're kind of a little clunky. You know, like if you have your hand on a bell and you're trying to ring it, it's just like ring, 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 right? The rings are a little clunky right now. And so that's because the Wei Qi auras are a little heavy. So you can just, and again, you only want to heal what's healthy and gentle. You only want to shift in a way that's healthy and gentle. But go ahead and comb through all your 15 Wei Qi auras at one time with gold light. And the idea is you want to lighten it up so that your rings can kind of like resonate much more in a healing way. And their resonating is healthy, but also just having your auras that light, that yeah, clearing that much heaviness out of your Wei Qi aura is just inherently helpful, whether or not you like the ringing part. Just the ringing is an indicator that you've gotten your Wei Qi auras light enough. And what do Wei Qi auras look like, if you can see energy? Just like a little gold, very finite gold mist, like a gold mist, So we're getting there. I just want to do a touch more. Okay, that's nice. We got it. All right, cool. In a previous triple set, not that long ago, maybe the January one, I think it was on like the Tuesday healing. But anyway, we got rid of fake angels, beings that are pretending to be guides, but they're not. Because real angels, you do have real angels. Everybody has real angels. Not grandma and grandpa. I mean, they may be helping as well from heaven, but real angels are appointed to you during your life planning process in heaven, way before your life starts. And so everyone has personal angels, and they are helping and guiding you, or trying their best to get through to you and help and guide you all the time. But there can be invasive beings that are pretending and kind of getting in the way and giving you unhealthy advice. So we want to get rid of those, right? And some of those beings, they can keep your Wei Qi auras a little too heavy also. So since we just lightened up your Wei Qi auras, it's nice to make sure we get rid of those beings so they can't just heavy up your Wei Qi aura again. So, an easy way, I call it the Mr. Potato Head game. Just because I think the sillier you are, I mean, as long as you're really present, if you're a little bit jovial, a little bit playful about this stuff with beings, it's better because the playfulness diffuses any fear, and fear is not helpful. It's not rational. It's, you know, whatever. Why? Because you are a mighty eternal being. You are big, powerful. You're it, man. Right? So we're just going to get rid of these beings that are in the way. They're not as strong and powerful as you are. But maybe they're pretending to be strong and powerful, you know? So we want to get them out of the way. And the angels really do all the heavy lifting on this, but you just make the requests, right? So just imagine a copy of yourself out in front of you, so you're like a blob there, and imagine your angels, and then any beings that are in between you and your angels. Just say, angels, can you remove these beings? Can you recycle these beings? So it's like, you know, here you are, here are your angels, and these invasive beings are just in the way. They maybe are heavy, making your auras more heavy. And just say, angels, can you recycle these beings? And you know, if you're cooking or something and you didn't have time to like close your eyes and see that and imagine that, you could say, angels, can you please recycle any beings that are making my energy heavy? Angels, can you please recycle any beings that are making my energy heavy? That's one way to do it. But I do think it's nice to imagine, you know, even if, you know, so you're one blob and then you have your angels all in a row, your real angels, and then just imagine a row of the fake angels, the imposter beings, the beings that just make life confusing and heavy and dramatic, and just say, angels, can you recycle all of them? There we go. All right. So I'm just double checking everybody as we wrap up. Just going to do one more second on melting away second layer stuff. Second layer right here. Energy blocks in the second layer, in the front specifically. Because say if you're, you know, if you're currently triggered about something emotionally, it would be in the front right there, right in the front of your second layer. Probably right around here, yeah, anywhere around here. So just want to help people and melt those with gold light. And first layer, fears that are triggered that are right in front here in the first layer. So it's like you imagine a hard chunk of the energy blocks that are there, and you just melt the chunk. You just keep sending it gold light, surrounding the chunk of energy blocks in gold light until the chunk melts. All right. So as we finish up, you can just say, angels, can you please give me a blessing and a healing? So I'm just combing through the aura, combing through the chakras, combing through the grounding. And just a heads up, if you're doing this healing later as a video or as a walkthrough, but not getting it from me, and you didn't get the Friday healing, we did do chakra repair in the Friday healing. We did not do chakra repair in this healing. I mean, we unblocked the chakras nicely. But if you need chakra repair, I will link that, a video for that below later today. We also did it in the Friday session. Chakra repair is not something you need to do every day. If you keep your aura whole and flowing, your chakras, it would be much less likely that your chakras get damaged. Like say if you get some aura damage, but you notice it and you heal it, versus like it gets deeper and deeper and deeper for 4 days. If it gets deeper and deeper and deeper for, even 2 days, then it's going to get, the aura damage can get so deep that your chakras get damaged, and then you need chakra repair, right? So just a heads up that, because some of my veterans, they don't understand that. Like the veterans that maybe don't do all the videos and stuff, they don't really get that. So they know to repair their aura every now and then. But, there was a time like 3 weeks ago where they got pretty bad aura damage. So eventually they did get chakra damage even. So then later they know to repair their aura, and they're like, oh, I should have done it sooner. Oh, well, and they repair their aura, but they're never fully at their potential of how good they could feel because they never did repair the chakras. So just so you know, chakra repair and aura repair are 2 different things. Although if you get your chakras nice, which we did on Friday, and then you keep your aura nice and repaired, then your chakras are doing well. All right, so let's end this healing. Thank you very much. I'm saying thank you to all my 100 prepaid participants. Hello, good job, guys. You're awesome. All right. Yay. So I think just like Friday, if you want to say how, we're not going to have a separate Q&A, but it's nice. I'm going to catch up on reading some chats. So if you want to share, we did have a lot of people at the end of the Friday live stream that shared how the healing was for them, just a brief thing about how they feel from the healing or their favorite part of the healing. And I always think that's interesting, probably for participants too. It's interesting for me, but I think it's interesting for participants and people that listen later as a video. So if you do want to share, like what part of the healing was your favorite or anything, how you feel now, that's cool. All right, so lots of hellos. Thank you so much. Hi everybody. Hello. I'm so glad everybody's watching. Hey, we have new people too. Hello. You're super welcome to be here. Hello, people from all over the world. So exciting. Thank you. So many good things in this healing. Thank you. Somebody says howdy. I missed what you said earlier about vacuum boxes may not be enough. Why not, and what to do if so? So that was because we were specifically healing the moonroof area, which is about this big back here. And I will link a video beneath this, by the end of today, I'll link, related videos. There is a moonroof healing video. You could just search Janet Wright moonroof healing to find it. But the moonroof area is a specific area where invasive beings can come through, and vacuum boxes just aren't typically enough to get the beings out. Because it's like if you imagine this small little window and then you have like 20 beings shoved in there, they're all like stuck in there. And you're resisting it most likely because it's uncomfortable for you on a spirit level that's occurring. So your resistance is like glue. So then all these beings plus your resistance is a glue. And so it's like, so vacuum boxes, it's because of your resistance that vacuum boxes may not be enough, most likely. Yeah. I think that's the short answer. Resistance. Resistance is the subconscious part of you that's like, ah, and clutching onto the situation or the beings or whatever, even though it's not logical. It still happens. So yeah, that's why. So we used gold combs to kind of sort of get a grip on all the beings that were coming through, and then just hand them to the angels. Gold combs, just stuck in there, and then that gives you kind of a handle on that mass of junk, and then you give it to your angels. So, but then I felt though that vacuum boxes after that did clear it even more. So it was a nice combo. But in that moonroof video, we definitely do use the gold comb. So if you don't know that technique, you can just watch this later, or specifically the moonroof healing video would do it too. Someone says, thank you. Someone says, oh no, no question, Nene. Sorry, I had already asked. Oh no, it's okay. I mean, if you have a small comment about today's healing, that's fine. I don't mind. It's just the Q&A that I was referring to before that we did was, it was like a whole extra hour on any question you have about anything in the world, Someone says, love the new technique on clearing pain agreements with subgroups. Yeah. I had a few related to being a mom. Yeah, very good. See, thank you. Yeah, that's a subgroup I'm not really a part of. I'm a part of a dog mom and cat mom subgroup. But yeah, not a mom subgroup. But that is a very astute point that, yeah, you can have pain agreements with, subgroup of single moms, subgroup of moms. And it makes it harder for you to step out of the patterns and the tendencies of that group if you hold on to those pain agreements. Like, for example, a current events example, Elizabeth Warren dropped out of the race, suspended her campaign, I think is the technical term. So Elizabeth Warren is a woman, and she was running for president of the United States, and she did not, the voting results were not favorable enough for her, and so she suspended her campaign. And a lot of people, I favor Bernie Sanders over her, just for personal context, but just talking about energy, a lot of women not only were very pained just because they felt she was the best candidate, which is not really a group pain agreement. They just, they just felt she was the best one. And, but a lot of women were just floored. Like, I read comments, some people cried for like a lot that day. And that I do think is the group pain agreement, that, if you feel the oppression of all the women on the planet that deeply, then yeah, you might cry and sob for like hours over Elizabeth Warren not being able to, become president, but that's an indication that you have a lot of pain in your space that doesn't need to be there. It didn't help Elizabeth Warren win. It won't help you overcome oppression to carry the pain within you. It just makes you cry a lot and makes you feel really vulnerable, and it's terrible. So an example of, if you clear the pain agreements of these subgroups, then you could still fight for whatever group of people you want to fight for, and help empowerment and whatever. But clearing the pain helps you be strong. I noticed a big shift with this again, realized some really stubborn device from the liver area I'd been working on for a while. Just curious, was that one of those family agreements? Thank you. Stubborn device in the liver area. No, but I think that when you clear, I think specifically like the lightening up of things that we were doing, anything that lightens you up, like clearing the agreements with those subgroups, and getting those beings out of the way, and we also, raise the vibration of the Wei Qi auras so they're more light and resonant. All that enables you to clear things more easily, anything more easily. So I think that was just a nice side effect. that, all those other things lightened you up and strengthened you and allowed you to be more present. The more present you are, the stronger you are, and therefore something that wasn't possible before, as far as clearing, now is possible. Yeah. So happy side effect of the healing. Thank you, Janet. Been clearing a lot out of hands, arms, and feet following Saturday's healing. Yeah, following the Friday. Yeah, it was Saturday for you because of your time zone. Yeah. Good. I'm glad that inspired you to clear a lot out of hands and feet and legs. It's funny, because I know it's like if you haven't tried it before, you don't know how much it can help your life. I mean, because it seems so silly. Like, well, why do I care about unblocking my legs, Janet? That seems like really obscure and bizarre. But your legs bring up earth energy to power your first chakra in some ways, and your first chakra is like your core of like safety and courage, so legs are huge, so good for you. I'm glad. Thank you for sharing. I feel so great. My favorite parts were clearing the contracts, the agreements with these groups of people, the pain carrying agreements, clearing the hands, clearing the fake angels, and the flower healing. Love that. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing. Same in the UK when Jeremy Corbyn lost the election here. Yeah, if you have, it can, if something is bothering you in a way that, yeah, I mean, it's just interesting, I mean, empathy is one thing, being empathetic for, for example, people that don't have healthcare and you do, that's empathy. But to the point where it robs you of all joy in life, then yeah, you probably have some pain agreements going on. To the point where it debilitates you and you can't maybe work for justice for all, then maybe time to clear some pain agreements, just so that then you still have your empathy, you still have your compassion, and you're a lot more strong and powerful now, so you could create change in a more effective way, typically. Yay. Okay, well, no more comments. I don't think. I'm not getting them. If there are, there's a little bit of a delay, but could just be that people are not chatty right now. All right, let me see. I'll think of if there's anything else I need to say, but otherwise we can sign off. So we'll see. If you have anything else you want to say, any other little comment, that's fine, but otherwise we'll stop. Yeah, I think for me, I just want to point out that we're going to do another healing in 2 days. So you're welcome. Everyone's welcome to watch. And also, oh, yeah, thank you, angels. I always forget to say things like this. Okay, so yeah, give it a thumbs up if you could, if you want. Feel free to subscribe if you want, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel. And I did want to give a heads up that the Healing Masterclass is on the 3rd Sunday this month, and there are only 14 spots left or something like that, 13 or 14 spots. I think my website says 16 spots, but I haven't had time to update it yet. So those spots are selling out. So the Healing Masterclass is on the 3rd Sunday always. Well, as long as I keep doing it. So this month, that's March 15th. So on Sunday, the March 15th. And that's also when new sessions go up on my website. So we'll have the Healing Masterclass in the morning, and then in the afternoon, sessions go up. And the Healing Masterclass, the theme is on, yeah, that's cool. See, the Healing Masterclass, the archangels are much more involved in that, like even to the point where they're like I'm their assistants in a way. I mean, I'm the healer for the most part in the Healing Master classes, but Archangels Ariel and Jophiel are the more like the main teachers in that Healing Master class in a way. And so the theme is N negative repeating patterns, conscious and subconscious negative repeating patterns from this and past lives that you have. And it's just cool. I'm looking forward to what the archangels have to say about that, for repeating patterns and what they suggest that we're going to do. So that'll be super cool. So that's Sunday, March 15th, which is a week from today. And there are, like I said, 14, 15 spots left. So do not snooze on that if that speaks to you and you want to be a part of it. You want to receive the healing. So cool. So somebody says, oh, and then the next triplet set, I should mention that. So the next set of 3 healings, like this one, is next month, Friday, April 3rd, Sunday, April 5th, Tuesday, April 7th, and a set of 3 healings. And the theme is lighten your journey, brighten your path. So that will be a little bit more of kind of like what we did today, but a lot more, and then interesting new things with it, of course, always. But lighten your journey, brighten your path. So how do you how can we just make everything lighter and brighter for you and your perception of things and your inner reality? So looking forward to that. Okay, someone says, feel better today if you have time. Just curious about why I've felt off these last couple days. You do have someone that keeps whacking the back of your aura, like right around here, pretty consistently. And also I think you and a couple people, well, actually not just a couple people, but I think it's been affecting it. It affects everyone subtly, but some people it's been a more dramatic effect where these carrying pain agreements have been resetting the person so that they feel good and then they don't feel good. They feel good and then they don't feel good. Like I looked at this one woman because she mentioned it in her survey so dramatically. She's like, well, I feel good and then I don't. And then I fix it and then I feel good and then I don't. And she had just gotten the Friday healing. So, I knew something was up, and I watched her and it was like she would walk forward on her path and then it'd be like she got tackled, like in a football game, she got tackled and then she'd get up again and she'd walk forward on her path and she got tackled again. And it was these clearing pain agreements thing that was doing it. So the pain agreements that you may have, say with the women on the planet and it's all subconscious. It's like they're made when you in early childhood typically or before the life starts. But, the idea is not to keep the pain. The idea is to evolve beyond it by clearing it. And then you could still work to help that subgroup. So yeah, that's in part why we did clearing the agreements today. Someone says, wow, I feel so much lighter. I noticed I was doing some involuntary sighing during this healing. Love you, Janet. Yeah. I used to sigh a lot when I cleared energy, and some people misinterpret that as like you're frustrated with them or something, which is funny. So like I was waiting for a shopping cart at Trader Joe's one time, in the parking lot. I was waiting for this woman to put back her cart so I could get mine, and I had this big sigh, and she thought I was frustrated with her. I was like, oh, sorry. But yeah, sometimes sighing is just, it's a sigh of relief, and so I'm glad that was happening. Someone says, thanks, Janet. Why do I always make such a drama of it, wasting days being stuck? I haven't got days. Yeah. Well, I think you're not as good as you could be at doing that stillness thing. Observe your drama. Observe that you're spinning your wheels. Be the observer. Like, don't, disassociate so much that you're, floating off miles away, but just like feel that, yeah, I'm doing it again. And don't like get into the pain and the guilt and the shame of it and keep spinning the wheels. Just go deeper than that. Go more in than that, where you're just like, okay, need to clear that. Like it's like if there's a table and there's something on the table, go underneath that, and go, okay, I'm going to clear what's underneath that, and I'm going to clear all that. So then, it's hard to describe, but it's like calmness, inner stillness. It's like if there's a big rock and rather than pushing at it, you back away from the rock, and then you can see the rock better, and then you can clear it more easily. You get stuck in the struggle of it. And if you back away from it, then you can see it better and get more perspective on it and just clear it more efficiently. Like the angels keep reminding me, somebody a long time ago had a dream where they saw dragons, and they weren't like good dragons. They were like fearful dragons breathing fire at them. And somebody said, "Don't resist the dragons." I think was like their angels said, "Don't resist the dragons." And that's the idea. Don't resist the dragons. You know, just back away just a little and just don't resist. And then the dragons go away. You know, like the problems melt better when you don't resist and you just get perspective. I've been nervous, anxious, rewatching the Abundance Healing Masterclass yesterday evening. Is that because I've become more present in my first chakra? I cleared some giant blocks of fear. Yeah, I think as you get more present, there's a point at which you just become more aware of what's always been there. You know, so like when you get more in your first layer, in your first chakra, you're more aware of fear, but it shouldn't be overwhelming you at that point. It's just you're aware, like, wow, I'm nervous about that too. Wow, I'm nervous right now. Why am I nervous right now? You know, and then you just notice, oh yeah, there's some energy blocks I could clear. There's a stretch I could do. There's a deep breath I can take. You know, whereas before you might not have had that level of awareness, but you might have said, oh my God, I have so many problems, and no, why did he do that to me? And you know, you get caught in the external stuff. But once you get more present, you realize, like, wow, I am kind of nervous. That's weird. You know, and then you can clear it. But yeah, there is a part of which you're more aware of your internal issues when you are more present. But it should be a mellow, workable kind of awareness. That really helps. Thank you, Janet. You rock. Okay. All right, guys. You're the best. Bye. See you in 2 days if you want to do that live stream too, which is on Tuesday. Bye.